Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Predictable Income System for Online Coaches and Healers. We are coming every day live, and today we are wrapping up because we are in day 13th. But it doesn't mean that if you haven't registered, you are going to miss out because next weekend I'm going to open up all the interviews for 48 hours. So you have the opportunity. If you registered later, if you missed something, if you want to dive into somebody's specific speakers, you want to grab their free gifts, everything is going to be in your access. Everything is going to be on one page. You'll see each speaker, you'll see each topic, you'll see each gift. So 48 hours next weekend, it's June 27 and June 28 when I'm opening up that access. So if you even register today, you'll still have the time to consume all of that. And all it takes is just to register because there are so many juicy interviews. I keep receiving the emails from participants. They are raving so much and saying that, the panel that I actually attracted is amazing. The interviews are so full of insights and tips, and the gifts are amazing. So I truly, truly invite you, if you haven't registered yet, this is your opportunity to do that. And today we are going to talk about a fun topic. But before we dive into that topic, I would like to introduce Mimi, who just came to hold this beautiful stage with me. Mimi, welcome.
Thank you so much, Irina. I'm so excited to be here. I love talking with you.
Yay, and me too. So, Mimi, tell a little bit about yourself and who you are helping.
So, I like to help people that have challenges in their heart. And what I mean by that is, I believe that when people have inner peace, the world will have outer peace. So, how I support the world with having outer peace is I support entrepreneurs, especially the ones that are overwhelmed with admin work, because I have met very few people that like to do admin work. I happen to love it, and I happen to be great at it. So by doing that, I take it off their plate so that they're freed up to do what they love and they have peace in their heart.
Oh my God, so beautiful. Yes, and we'll later on to ask you what is your title and what is your free gift for the audience. But let's just have this conversation about the predictable income formula. What if that predictable income isn't actually the mystery? What if it's not luck? What if it's not the time? And what if it's like not a secret strategy that only a few people know? What if predictable income is actually the result of the few key ingredients that are working together? Because again, I interviewed the dozens of experts, I hear a countless success story and observe what creates the results. And I've noticed something interesting, Mimi. The business owner, the online coaches and healers who create predictable income may have different businesses, may have different personalities and different approaches, but they often have the same ingredients. And today we are going to dive in. All
Yeah,
right.
it's so exciting because, there's everything fits together like a puzzle piece. And as long as you know what pieces to put together, which our experts helped share with us, then you have the opportunity to flourish and thrive in your business.
So I'm just going to tell the predictable income formula. And again, it doesn't mean that this is the only formula in the world. It's like you can always find your own formula, right? But this is something that really generates the results. And I'm just going to tell you, and then me and Mimi will go dive into talking about these points. So predictable income is visibility plus relationships that we are building, plus the support that we are receiving, and plus consistent action steps, right? That's exactly what's going to tap to that beautiful formula of creating that predictable income that everyone desires. So let's dive into each of these pieces. First is visibility. And we know because this summit is all about online, right? So when we want to be found, we want to be more visible, right? So people see us and they understand who do we help, what we are doing, and what we are standing for, and know what exactly how can we help them. And again, it's consistently showing up. And if you are still kind of invisible, how people can find you, right? If you are behind, hiding behind the curtain, nobody knows what you're doing and nobody understands who you are helping. So
Right. And
visibility.
it's so important to be visible. And visibility doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to get a client every time I'm visible or I do something. But it's
Mhm,
about being out there, and so that your audience, your target market knows about you, so that when they are ready and they are feeling the pain that you have the solution to, they reach for you, so that in
mhm,
their brain, whatever the pain is, right, in their dictionary is your name, and they know that.
mhm.
But what it takes is being visible.
Yeah, I love what you shared, and I have a couple of tips. If somebody feels like, oh my God, there are so many platforms, start with one.
That's
You
right.
don't have to be everywhere, right? Start with one platform, something that you enjoy, right? And just show up consistently there. And it doesn't mean that not only videos, right? If you are still not comfortable with the videos, start with the posts.
That's right.
Like start with the quotes, something, but something that relates to your expertise. And the most important piece, always have the call to action at the end. This is something that a lot of business owners, online coaches, and healers are missing. They do not, they just post these beautiful tips and everything, but they do not lead the audience. What is the next step that's after that, right? So, call to action could be something simple as follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, receive this free resource, right? If you are doing some, like some email marketing, there are so many ways. Because again, a lot of times this is like a tip as well that I wanted to share, and Mimi, you also can add to that because I know you also have some tips. But what I notice, a lot of people put in their calendars on, and people do not just subscribe to have the meeting with us before they really understand how we can help them.
Right.
So that's why give them some easy micro win that they can actually commit to, something like subscribe, follow me, comment, right? Even DM, you can say DM. If there is any question that is on your mind or on your heart, just DM me and see if we can solve it, right? Do something simple that doesn't require a lot of commitment, because this is exactly how you are building these blocks in order like to pave that pathway from where they are today to actually book that consult with you.
And I think the most important thing you said in that is a micro step. Give them
Mm-hmm,
a micro step, right?
mm-hmm,
And it could be simple as something as saying, put a yes or a no in the comments if you agree with me.
mm-hmm.
Or
Totally.
something like that. What you're looking for is the engagement. You want to
Yes.
start creating that relationship with them at the same time as you're being visible.
I love that. Yeah. And I also wanted to add another piece because I remember when I started out, I also wasn't feeling very comfortable on camera, especially, English is not my first language. And I was always thinking, oh my God, what if I'm just going to stumble and not know what to talk about? And then I discovered that my strength is when I'm having the dialogue like we are having right now, Mimi, right? So, my invitation, if you are still not comfortable to show up for yourself on the video, find somebody else, do the live together, go and speak on other people platforms, right? Be the guest on the podcast. There are many, many opportunities. But the question is, do you have some kind of plan for yourself? Because if we have the plan, it's easy for us, for our nervous system, just to have that structure. And again, our energy loves structure. We know that, right? Since we were babies, our parents put us at the certain time to bed, at the certain time we ate. Why? Because otherwise we would be cranky. So the same thing happens here. If we do not have the plan for ourselves, it's easy just to detour and get lost. So have something in your plan. How many people you want to reach out that have already the stages, right? Whether speaking on the podcast, whether just coming up with somebody who is doing something similar than you, that you can just talk together, right? So just again, we train our muscle. Nobody was born, yeah, some people were born with more gifts in that area, but still everybody, there is always the space for the improvement. So start with something, and then you will start working that muscle and you become better at that.
Yeah, and here's a time management tip. Everybody who's in business has cycles in their business where they're very busy and then not so busy, busy,
Mhm.
not so busy. And in those not so busy months or time period would be
Mhm.
the perfect time to practice or create your visibility plan, right?
Mhm.
And to practice being on video or do your search for who you're going to be on a podcast with. Use the time effectively so that when you get into the busy time where people are looking for your service, you are ready.
I love that. Yeah, great tip. So visibility is number one ingredient in your formula, because if you are in online space, there is no way people can find you if you are not out there, right? So start putting out yourself more and more. And it doesn't mean you have to be 5 days or 7 days a week. Just commit to something that you truly can consistently do. Whether this is 3 times, right? Maybe one video, 2 times you're just doing the posts, but something that people can see you and the algorithm also can pick up on that. Maybe you want to add any more tips for the visibility before we move to another ingredient?
No, I think we covered it all quite well.
Yes, absolutely. And I love your time management tips. It's like, like you can see we are all experts in different things and our gifts are shining through. So thank you for that. So the second ingredient is relationships, because the visibility gets the attention, but relationship is something that's going to develop the trust. Because when we are in trust, that's where we are creating the opportunities. So it's not just about any marketing. It's actually about connections, right? And the biggest opportunities when we are talking about building relationships, it's referrals, it's collaborations, it's introductions, it's networking, it's community, right? Because relationships often become the bridge between that visibility and income. Just like I mentioned, where are the people that have their own podcasts that you can come on their stage and you can talk, right? What are the networking events are you attending that you can start building these relationships, right? And everything is relationship. People are not buying from businesses, people are buying from people. So every day you can ask, what relationship can I nurture? Who do I know that I can connect with and I can do the life together, or I can show up at their event? Some people even have their own audiences, right? Like even the way I'm doing this virtual event, it just, like I'm producing the stage and Mimi does as well. So, like that's exactly how we build the relationships, how we collaborate, and how we are actually having that space for the people who are already in our in our niche, somebody who is looking for the knowledge that we are delivering, right? So that's exactly one of the very good and necessary ingredients, right? And relationships also with the audience. We do not assume that once we are going to post, people are just running to us, right? It doesn't work this way. We actually, like Mimi said, like micro steps, even saying, like if you agree, just type yes. Or, like a lot of times I go online and I say, if you're watching replay, comment replay, right? So you want to start building that relationship that you are not talking at people, but you are with them. You are there, wholeheartedly helping them. And that's the biggest thing, right? Relationship is everything. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take, because everybody is on their buyer's journey, but it's going to put you out there, and people who really connect with your energy are going to tune into anything what you are sharing with them. Mimi, would you like to add?
Yes, there's two kinds of relationships. There's definitely the relationship with your target market, right? And the audience is another way to say that. That's one relationship. But the other relationship is with peers or
Mm-hmm.
people like you. Because when they get to know you and you're visible with them, they will start to refer people to you when you become known for your field of expertise. So that's another relationship that you want to develop. It takes both of them to thrive in business. I think that it's in the relationships, it's in the coming together that people get to know you and resonate with you. Is this the kind of person I want to work with? Is this not the kind of person that I want to work with? Do they have the solution for me? People
Mm-hmm.
want to, again, people want to work with people that connect with them in their heart. Even if they're a cold person, you have to connect with them somehow in order for them to want to take advantage of your field of expertise.
Absolutely. Beautiful. So the third, so we talked about visibility ingredient, we talked about relationship. The third ingredient is support. This is the ingredient that many people overlook. Because if you notice, successful people rarely build success alone. Behind many thriving businesses, you'll see mentors, coaches, communities, accountability, supporters, because when we are supported, we create the clarity. And that support is also creating the momentum. Support help us see what we cannot see ourselves. And like I mentioned, I am never a single day without the coach. That's why being 5 years in the business, I'm so much ahead of some people who are 20 years and struggling on their own, because I understand the beauty of when you have the right coach, how accelerated your level of expertise is going, and how quickly you can actually grow in your business. And also, we are not talking about just coaches and experts, right? Because we cannot see our blind spot. How about the peers, right? We are talking about accountability. Have that partner in belief, because as we are growing in that journey, there are times when we start doubting, like, like, is it really going to work for me? Or when the launches are not showing up for us the way that we desire, it's easy to go down that path of starting to doubt ourselves. So it's great to have somebody by our side who is going to say, listen, I know you can do it. I know you can, like, I trust in you. I believe in you. Because again, it's always easy to believe in somebody than believing in ourselves, right? So that's exactly what we are talking about: coaches, mentors, peers, also the people that, like, you are doing mastermind together, you are doing accountability group together, somebody that holds your energy and believes in you in the times when you are not believing in yourself. And again, we were never meant to do this work alone. Mimi.
Yeah, the other way to do it is to create a buddy who has a field of expertise that you like, and it could be a coach, um, and um, and have a weekly call. And in your weekly
Mhm.
call, you would make promises or talk for the upcoming week, and or talk about whether you fulfilled the promises from the previous week. Um, and it becomes a really great mentor. And I'm going to give a quick example here. I had somebody that I met in a conference. I knew I knew of them. I had been introduced to them, and we decided to be buddies. Well, it's 8 years later, and we still have a weekly call, and we hold each other accountable. Now, we started off business and we became very close because we got to know each other. So every once in a while, we'll look at okay, I'm spending the next 3 months trying to lose weight. Hold me
Mm-hmm.
accountable,
Mm-hmm.
right? But business wise, we're always talking about, okay, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to earn money. This is how we're going to be visible this week. This is whatever. And when you have the right person, they give you ideas, you give them ideas, and it becomes a collaboration for the two of you. You only have one brain and two eyes, right? When you duplicate yourself by having that support system, you now have two people looking at something, and two brains, right? So that it every stuff flourishes by doing that. You're not yourself.
So,
You're not on your own. You are not alone.
and we were never meant to do this work alone,
That's
right?
right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always better together. So we were talking again, if you're just tuning in, predictable income formula is visibility, it's the relationships, it's the support, and now the fourth ingredient is consistent action. That's exactly where the magic happens. It's not about having the right action, because again, we do not know what right or wrong until we try and look at the results. It's about just showing up, following up, having the conversations, making the offers, building these relationships, because most online coaches and healers underestimate what consistent action can create over time. So every day, wake up and ask, what is one action step I can take in order to get myself closer to my goal, to where I want to be? Mimi, would you like to add on that?
Yeah, I love that you said when you wake up, because what the science is starting to show is that the first hour when you wake up, you are as creative as you were when you were 3 years old. And if
Mm-hmm.
you take some time, like you wake up and you're still lying in bed and you think about the things you want to do with your day, you will start to come up with new and creative ways to do things that you didn't have before. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it is it's a tool to use. And the consistent action, I would assert you want to come up with at least 3 actions that you're going to take in a day. Um, that you can do, and they can be micro actions, but actions. Because if you take one action a day, let's call it, right, let's call it 1%, right, at the end of the year you have 365% or 365 actions that you took. Like,
Wow.
that's a lot of action. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And what I know, being in the field of manifestation, it's all about movement. We create the momentum through movement. And again, we never know. It's like it's not our job to know how things are going to show up, how we are going to attract these clients. Our job is to continuously be in the action, in the movement, right? Because when our energy is shifting through the movement, that's when we create the results. And I've noticed it from my journey, I've noticed it from the journey of my clients. It's like we can put the focus on these kind of actions, talking to the people, but we receive the clients from completely different
That's right.
space, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is we do not have to know how, but we have to be
Do it.
constantly in the action, because the clarity doesn't come before the action. Action creates the clarity, because when we take the steps, we start seeing something what we haven't seen before, and that's the beauty of that.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's so true. It's in the action. By taking the action, you're on the journey. And if you're not on the journey, you're not going to see all the stuff that's coming up around you. If you picture a pathway in front of you with trees and all different kinds of stuff, right? You have to be on the journey in order
Mhm.
for stuff to happen.
Absolutely. So why does that formula work? Because one ingredient alone isn't enough. Visibility without the relationship often leads us to have followers, but they are not our clients. Relationships without visibility can limit our opportunities. Support without action creates little change, and action without support can feel exhausting. So the power comes when all of these ingredients are mixed together. And that's exactly when we create the formula of the predictable income, which is again visibility plus relationships plus support plus consistent action, right? So that's exactly what we wanted to talk to you about. And I'm going to jump to Mimi for telling what is the title of your talk on the summit and what is the free gift that you provide for people.
So my talk is called Success Without Stress: Management to Gain Freedom from Overwhelm. And it's based on my book of the same name, which is a bestseller on Amazon. And what I did in that talk is I talked about the top 10 guidelines on which the book is based, so that people start to get a sense of some of the steps that they can take to organize their time. You know, time management is not something we're taught when we're in school or ever, right? It just
Totally.
it comes to you or it doesn't come to you. So I put it together in an easy format, and my free gift is actually a list of the top 10 guidelines. Now, after that, if people want to learn how to implement it, they should definitely reach out to me, and I will support them with implementing it. But those top 10, if you take 2 weeks to implement each one, right, and then move on to the next one, no matter where you're at, you will find that you have time that you didn't know that you had.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you so much. That was such a great wrap up. And again, register if you haven't registered for the summit. This is just the little gems that you are hearing from us on this interview right now. But imagine what you are receiving as you are tuning in to each expert, even listening to Mimi's interview, because we are talking completely about different stuff on that interview, right? And again, don't feel like you are missing something up, because even though we are in day 13, next week on June 27 and 28, I'm opening up all the interviews again. So you'll get to pick and choose whoever you want to listen again. And my recommendation, claim everybody's free gift, because you never know who is the person you are connecting with. Well, Mimi, thank you so much. That was a great, great wrap up. And again, invite everybody who is still watching, didn't register. This is your sign to register, because even one interview, even one insight can put you on a completely different path in the success of your predictable income in your business. And if you are also watching, share it with somebody. You know people who are already part of your networking. Maybe you have the accountability buddies, somebody that actually is in online space to be coach or the healer. Just share this beautiful series with them, because again, we were not meant to do this work alone. And sharing is caring. When we are given something, the universe gives us 10 times more. All right. So beautiful. Thank you so much, Mimi. That was awesome. And we'll see everybody soon. Take care. Bye.